Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break on Throwback Thursday style. The Takeover powered by JM&E. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Thank you for tuning in. The show is not live. I am recording it Wednesday night, but I'm happy to say a show that is live right now as you're watching this show, as I'm recording it, but also part of the Houston Roundball Review family. Young Lions, Andy Yanez, and Kenneth Bowman are previewing the Saturday matchup this Saturday. Cougars Football hosting West Virginia, available on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, as well as Pod Slamma Jamma YouTube channel. Spreading out, we're branching out, doing things, and that's good for me that that show is now available on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel to lighten the load on me, because I'm spreading myself too thin, folks. That's being honest, and some things I got to take some time to cut back, because this job and everything, and part duty at church and everything is taking a toll on me mentally, and so I got to take a step back and refresh, restart, and slow down. In a nutshell, but the Houston Roundball Review Takeover is available on YouTube via the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, and also on Roku via the BS3 Network. If you have Roku, download the BS3 app. If you don't have Roku, shame. But if you don't, you can go to bs3network.com or bs3tvlive.com and watch shows like The Takeover and other content available throughout the days, weeks, months, and year, courtesy of BS3 TV, changing the way you watch TV. All right, today's show, lots and lots of Houston Cougars content. As everyone knows who follows me on the platforms of social media, I am a proud, very proud University of Houston graduate, class of 1994. Yes, that long ago, back when I had more hair than this on my head. But Coogs, then we'll talk some Big 12 football, some American Conference football, and SWAC football. And that will do it for today's edition of The Takeover. Thanking, of course, the members of the Houston Roundball Review online business directory. Let's do that. Shifting gears a little bit differently here. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to thank them first. Let's see. Let me do this. Let's see. Do this first. There we go. Want to thank the African Center of Wellbeing, Bayou Beat, Be Elite Basketball, Byron Riley, CPA, Penteleon Law Firm, Pruitt's in the Heights, Star Pizza, Tejas Brewery, United Sports and Entertainment, VIP Realty, and of course, Steve Saxenian and the Saxenian family. United Sports and Entertainment put on the recently concluded CBB exhibition, double hitter, featuring Texas A&M and Arizona State, and the Houston Cougars versus Mississippi State. Those games took place at the Fort Bend Epicenter. I was there for the Cougs matchup versus Mississippi State. It was an exhibition game. Some content I posted, some post-game comments from head coach Kelvin Sampson, available on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, as well as some of my observations of the game, what I saw from the Cougs. And if you want to read those, doing things differently to lighten my load mentally, become a member of the Houston Roundball Review YouTube family. Members only. All league tier, all world tier. Either tier, you can receive and view my observations of the game, of what the Cougs did in the game. $3, $2.99 a month. Get it for a month. Test it out. Drive it around. You do that at the all league tier. All world tier is $4.99. In addition to my observations that you can read, you can see members only YouTube shorts, members only videos, and members only live stream shows. And the inaugural live stream show, I have info of how you can receive a free large pizza from Star Pizza. And Star Pizza is a sponsor of the Houston Roundball Review. So it's one of the perks we are offering, me via Star Pizza, to the members who are kind enough to support the Houston Roundball Review with a YouTube membership. So you purchase that all world tier. You can find out what you need to do. 2 little steps, what you need to do, and then you will get a free large pizza from Star Pizza. Now getting into it. Houston Cougars, and I'm going to do a better job today, I vow, with the banners. First things, UH men's basketball, the majority of UH athletics info will be football after this, UH football. Houston's Isaiah Harwell, Emmanuel Sharp, and Milos Uzan have been named to the watch list candidates, are named watch list candidates by the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. This is Wednesday night as I'm recording, so I've seen the Rockets blast the Raptors bigly, scoring, I think, 139. Final score about 139 and 118. But Wednesday night, this is as I'm mentioning this info for you. As you're watching the show on Thursday or Friday, the Basketball Hall of Fame will announce the other 2 position award candidates. But as of Wednesday, the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame has announced the 20 watch list candidates for the 2026 Bob Cousy Award, top point guard, the 2026 Jerry West Award, top shooting guard, and at the time I'm recording this show, the 2026 Julius Erving Award, top small forward. Houston Cougars point guard Milos Uzan, Bob Cousy Award. Shooting guard Emmanuel Sharp, Jerry West Award. And freshman small forward Isaiah Harwell, Julius Erving Award, are among the watch list candidates at their respective positions. The watch list candidates for the 2026 Karl Malone Award, top power forward, will be announced October 30th. And the watch list candidates for the 2026 Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award will be announced Friday, October 31st. And there's a chance, heck, I was surprised to see Isaiah Harwell named as a watch list candidate before he's even played a game that counts to the Julius Erving Award. So there's a chance. I mean, why not? Chris Sinak being named as a watch list candidate for the top power forward for Karl Malone, and Mr. Jojo Tugler, top center, one of the top 20 for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award. Hey, we'll see about that. It could be 5 Cougs named to watch list candidates for 5 position awards from the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. That would be something. Next, the Women's Basketball Coaches Association, WBCA, has announced also watch list candidates for the 2026 Nancy Lieberman Award, top point guard, the 2026 Ann Myers Drysdale Award, top shooting guard, and the 2026 Cheryl Miller Award, top small forward, and will announce the watch list candidates for the 2026 Katrina McLean Award, top power forward, October 30th, and concluding the week, the 2026 Lisa Leslie Award, top center, on Halloween, October 31st. I am a voting member for the Katrina McLean Award to top power forward and the Nancy Lieberman Award, top point guard. But you, fans, can support their favorite player by participating in fan voting, which starts probably 11 o'clock Central Time on Friday, October 31st. In late January, the watch list of 20 players for each of the 5 position awards will be narrowed to 10, and then in late February to just 5. In March, the 5 finalists will be presented to the Hall of Fame's selection committees and the Hall of Famers, where winners will be selected. The selection committees for the awards are composed of top men's and women's college basketball personnel, including media members like me. Yes, me, yours truly. Head coaches, sports information directors, and Hall of Famers. The winner of the 2026 awards will be presented on a to be determined date along with the other four members of the men's and women's starting five. So all five award winners will be announced at a ceremony, I think, after the season. So it'll be sometime in early April, I think. But that date is to be determined. So good luck to all the candidates, and you can vote. Usually the voting, let me do this. I think voting will be at hoophallawards.com. I think that's where it'll start Friday. If not, you can go to hoophall.com, and the link should be there on the Basketball Hall of Fame website for how fans can vote starting on Friday, Halloween, and throughout the season. So Coug fans, vote for your Cougs. Vote for Milos, vote for Emmanuel, vote for Isaiah. And if they are candidates, and you can play yourself onto the list throughout the season. So if Chris Sinak, by some chance, is not on the watch list on October 30th, he can play himself on it. Same with JoJo. If he's not a part of the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar watch list, he can play himself on that. We'll be kind of curious to see how they position, with the voters, where they position JoJo and Chris. JoJo is kind of a center, kind of. He's really a big post player for Coach Sampson and the squad, but we'll see. Back at it. Now we're going to shift some gears and talk some football. And lots to share regarding the Houston Cougars football. First things first, on a somber and serious note, Houston Cougar football to honor Coach Hester with blackout game versus West Virginia. The 22nd ranked Houston football team will honor the late director of strength and performance, Kurt Hester, during its game this Saturday against West Virginia by changing its game theme to be the team's blackout game. Coach Hester's favorite color was black. Hester, who battled stage 4 melanoma since February, passed away on Saturday prior to Houston's upset win at then 24th/25th ranked Arizona State. The Cougs will wear black uniforms for the game in his honor and brandish #Unbreakable on the lower bottom piece of the helmet. Coach Hester's slogan his last 8 months of life was unbreakable. John M. O'Quinn Field will include unbreakable features in the field painting for Houston's nationally televised game. Game can be seen on FS1, 11 o'clock Central. The Spirit of Houston will have a tribute during their halftime performance and spell out unbreakable on the field. Black merchandise will be available at the team shop, connected to the stadium garage, and at licensed retailers across the city. Additional plans to honor Coach Hester are actively being developed. Houston was previously set to have its blackout game on November 22nd against TCU, but it will instead hold a blackout game this Saturday, November 1st, versus West Virginia. Kickoff is set for 11 a.m. on FS1. Houston has won each of its last 2 blackout games, beating West Virginia in 2023 and Kansas State last year, 2024. In addition to the blackout theme, Houston will honor the 2015 Peach Bowl and American, I'm going to say it what it is now, American Conference Championship winning team 10 years after the program hoisted the Peach Bowl trophy. fans can purchase special $20 15-cent tickets to commemorate the 10-year anniversary. $20.15 to see the 7-1 Willie Fritz Houston Cougars, but also honor the 2015 Peach Bowl champs coached by Tom Herman. And that Peach Bowl victory, I believe personally, began the demise of Florida State football. It hasn't been the same since that loss to the Cougs, since the Cougs steamrolled the Seminoles in the Peach Bowl. Wow, 10 years. Wow. Next, for the Cougs, a lot of honors for the Cougs I'm going to share in today's takeover. Coach Willie Fritz named Bear Bryant National Coach of the Week. After guiding Houston football to its second-ranked win in as many years and its first ranking at 22 since 2022, head coach Willie Fritz was selected as the Bear Bryant National Coach of the Week. Houston defeated then 24th/25th ranked Arizona State 24-16 in Tempe, Arizona on Saturday, securing Houston's first ranked win on the road since, look at this, since downing 17th/14th ranked South Florida 28-24 on October 29th, 2017. It also marked the Cougs' second straight season with a win over a ranked opponent. The first time since 2017-18, Houston defeated ranked opponents in consecutive years. The Cougs moved to 7-1 on the year with the victory, the team's best start since 2021. Among Power 4 teams with only one loss this year, Fritz's squad is one of 6 to have its only defeat come against a current AP Top 15 opponent. Houston has won 4 consecutive road games in the season for the 12th time in program history after the win over Arizona State. The Cougs won their 4th consecutive road game for the first time since winning all 6 road contests in 2021. Houston is 4-0 on the road this season. Fritz earned the honor almost 2 weeks after he was named to the Bear Bryant Coach of the Year watch list on October 15th. Fritz's honor is the latest to come for Houston this season. Going to get some more details on these honors in a minute. Quarterback Connor Wigman was voted Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's sharing the award, co-winners, for the second straight week after posting 201 passing yards with a touchdown and no interceptions, along with 111 rushing yards and 2 scores. Defensive lineman Eddie Walls III received Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week honors after recording 3 sacks, tying Houston's record for sacks in a Big 12 game, while the defensive line selected as the Big 12 Defensive Line of the Week. The previous week, the offensive line was selected Big 12's Offensive Line of the Week. Finding different ways to win. Go Cougs. More details now. Houston earns 3 nods from the Big 12 Conference for second consecutive weeks. A week after collecting 3 awards from the Big 12, the 22nd ranked Houston football team again snagged a trio of honors from the league after a road win against Arizona State, snapping Arizona State's 10-game home winning streak and ending Coach QB Levitt, Arizona State's quarterback Sam Levitt, had the last 11 games he started, Arizona State had won. Well, the Cougs ended that last Saturday, October 24th. Back to the release. Junior QB Connor Wigman received his second consecutive Offensive Player of the Week accolades, while senior defensive lineman Eddie Walls III was named Defensive Player of the Week. And again, the Cougs defensive line was voted the best in the conference. Wigman continued to shine for Houston in Tempe as the Cougs signal caller threw for 201 yards on 17 for 22 passing, completing nearly 80% of his passes while adding a passing touchdown to tight end Tanner Kozio. Wigman also posted his first career 100-yard rushing game, notching 111 yards and 2 scores on the ground. Wigman became the first FBS quarterback to throw for 200 yards while adding a touchdown with no interceptions and rush for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns against a ranked opponent on the road since K-State's Adrian Martinez did so at Oklahoma in 2022. He was also the first Houston quarterback to toss 200 yards and a touchdown and run for 100 and 2 touchdowns without committing a turnover since Greg Ward did so against Tennessee Tech in 2015. Wigman was highly rated by Pro Football Focus for his performance, receiving an 85.7 offensive grade, 86.3 passer grade, and an 84.6 passer grade when blitzed, all of which rank in the top 10 nationally. Walls III paced Houston on the defensive side of the ball. The senior tallied 5 tackles, including a career-high 3.0 sacks, while also defending a pass against the Sun Devils. He was the third player in the Big 12 with at least 3 sacks in a conference game this season, and the first Houston Cougar to post 3 sacks since Nelson Caesar at Baylor in 2023, which tied the program record for sacks in a Big 12 game. Joining Walls III, Houston's defensive line posted 5 tackles for loss and 4 sacks against the ranked Sun Devils. The unit limited Arizona State to 98 rushing yards, Houston's 4th time this season holding its opponent to a sub-100 mark on the ground. The Cougs defensive line earned a 91.3 defensive grade, which ranked 23rd nationally in Week 9, along with a 90.7 run defensive grade, ranking 26th. Houston's 16 points allowed are the second fewest the team has ceded during a Big 12 conference game as a conference member, and the fewest allowed this season. Gotta say, folks, that's good news. Good news by the defense. Good news for the offense. Good performances by the offense, the defense. Winning football. Limited turnovers. It's like the Houston Cougars men's basketball formula. Seeping over to the football team. You limit your mistakes. Cougs don't beat Cougs. Have good time possession, pressure defense, and you grind out victories. Works for me. And it's worked to a tune of 7-1 on the season. And will be an appearance in a bowl game. Kudos to Coach Fritz in year 2. Onward to bigger and better things. Heck, they still have a chance to reach the Big 12 title game in Arlington. They still they control their destiny. Well, kind of. They can't finish in a tie with Texas Tech. But who'd have thought that in year 2 under Coach Fritz? Outstanding. Now, some Big 12 football. And then we'll get to the bottom of the hour and the break. Week 9 results last Saturday. Everybody played last Saturday. The Sunflower Showdown between K-State and Kansas wasn't much of a showdown. K-State 42, KU 17. BYU at Iowa State. BYU spotted Iowa State a lead, and BYU freshman Bear Bachmeier came through. Bachmeier came through again. He's had a hell of a year for a freshman, period. But for a quarterback, period. BYU 41. Iowa State 27. Texas Tech bounced back in a expected way, big way, after they lost to Arizona State with a 42-zip blanking of Oklahoma State. Cincinnati stays undefeated in conference play with a 41-27 win over Baylor. TCU, 23-17 win at West Virginia, who the Cougs are hosting this Saturday. And, of course, the Cougs with their 8-point road win in Tempe over the Sun Devils, 24-16. And lastly, Utah, 53-7 over Colorado. Woo! Boy, this weekend in Big 12 play. All games again this Saturday. 3 games kicking off at 11 a.m. First, Arizona State at Iowa State on TNT. On FS1. Those 3 games, again, kick off at 11 a.m. Central. 2:30 p.m., Texas Tech at Kansas State on Fox. Oklahoma State at Kansas, ESPN Plus, 3 o'clock. Arizona at Colorado on FS1, 6 p.m. And then ESPN College Game Day is going to be in Utah for the top 25 matchup between the Cincinnati Bearcats and the Utah Utes. That game kicks off at 9:15 p.m. Central Time. Some notes, Big 12 notes, Week 10. As always, this season, the Big 12 Conference will publicly provide player availability reports for all conference games this season at big12sports.com/FB reporting, beginning 3 days prior to kickoff. BYU 10th, Texas Tech 13th, Cincinnati 17th, Houston 22nd, and Utah 24th give the Big 12 5 teams ranked in this week's AP Top 25. It marks the first time the conference has had 5 ranked teams in the month of October since 2022. ESPN's College Game Day will make a Big 12 visit this week for the Top 25 showdown between Cincinnati and Utah in Salt Lake City. As the Big 12 celebrates its 30th season of football, this week's K-State Texas Tech game is a rematch of the inaugural conference game played on August 31st, 1996. Big 12 QB Club. 6 of the top 25 national leaders in passing touchdowns are in the Big 12, including Baylor's Sawyer Robertson, ranked 2nd with 23 touchdowns. TCU's Josh Hoover, 3rd with 22 touchdowns. Cincinnati's Brendan Sorsby, tied for 7th with 19 touchdowns. KU's Jalen Daniels, tied for 11th with 18 touchdowns. Arizona's Noah Fafita, 16th, 17 touchdowns. And K-State's Avery Johnson, tied for 24th with 15 touchdowns. After picking up its first AP Top 25 win on the road since 2017, Houston's 7 wins this season nearly match its win total of 8 from the previous 2 seasons combined. 422. Woo! Dion, what it do, baby? What y'all doing over there? Oh! Bottom of the hour for today's edition of the Takeover. You're watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, but also streaming on Roku via the BS3 Network. Here's a promo of what BS3 TV is all about, including content available on the app. Be back in 90 seconds. You're watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. This is Throwback Thursday. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. First half of the show discussed the Coogs, some men's hoops, some Cougars football, some Big 12 football. Now we're going to get into some American Conference football and some SWAC football. And that'll do it for today's edition of The Takeover. Let me get this. There we go. All right. Week 9 results. Friday on the 24th, North Texas 54-20 road win over Charlotte. Saturday the 25th, Memphis came from behind to upset, I think, 18th ranked South Florida, 34-31. The Tigers trailed by 17 points in the fourth quarter. I think that's right, something like that. The Rice Owls won in double overtime, 37-34 over UConn. Navy with a 42-32 win over Florida Atlantic. And Temple edged Tulsa 38-37. Temple's playing some winning football. Who knew? This week, week 10 in the American. Thursday, October 30th, Tulane at UTSA. That game can be seen on ESPN, kicking off at 6:30 p.m. Central. Friday, Halloween night. Memphis comes to H-Town to face Rice. Game can be seen on ESPN2, kicking off at 6 p.m. Central. Then this Saturday on the 1st, UAB at UConn, CBS Sports Network. 11 o'clock, Army at Air Force on CBS and Paramount Plus, also 11 a.m. Navy at North Texas, CBS Sports. Got to be a typo there somewhere. No way both those games are on 11. My fault there. East Carolina at Temple, ESPN Plus at 1 o'clock. Conference notes from the American for Week 10. Got to start off with the hometown player who shined. Rice running back Quentin Jackson accounted for 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing and 1 receiving, including the game-winning score in double overtime as the Owls defeated UConn 37-34. Jackson had a rushing touchdown for 73 yards and a receiving score for 75 yards, becoming the 16th FBS player since 1996 to have rushing and receiving touchdowns of 70 yards or longer in the same game. Navy will enter Week 10 as one of potentially 6 unbeaten teams in FBS, joining Ohio State, BYU, Georgia Tech, Indiana, and now A&M. At the time of this note, A&M had not finished thrashing LSU, ultimately resulting in the firing of Brian Kelly. So there you go. Navy is 7-0 to start a season for the 5th time in program history, joining 1926, 1934, 1960, and 1978. North Texas has scored at least 30 points in all 8 games this season. The Mean Green has scored at least 50 points 4 times this season. North Texas has scored points in 29 consecutive quarters, including overtime periods. Memphis defeated number 18 South Florida 34-31 in comeback fashion in Memphis, Tennessee. It was the Tigers' first home win over a ranked opponent since defeating number 23 SMU in 2021. Temple QB Evan Simon has thrown 21 touchdown passes without an interception after his 5 TD performance at Tulsa Saturday. And Temple has committed only 1 turnover in 8 games this season. That is how you help yourself win football games. SWAC Football. Week 9 results. last Saturday. Alcorn State 32-10 over Mississippi Valley State. Bethune-Cookman 31-14 over Arkansas Pine Bluff. Prairie View 38-0 over Lincoln in PV's homecoming. Lincoln is the gift that keeps on giving to SWAC schools this season. Alabama State 56-13 over Alabama A&M. Florida A&M 43-35 over Southern. Poor Southern. Poor Southern. And then in Vegas, an upset. Grambling State 26. Jackson State 24. Grambling won on a last-second field goal to upset the undefeated Jackson State, top team in the SWAC. They're no longer undefeated. And I think Jackson State was ranked 14th or 15th in the FCS. So big upset victory for the G-men of Grambling State University. This weekend, November 1st, SWAC TV has 3 matchups, 2 at 2 o'clock. Alabama A&M at Grambling State. Alabama State at Prairie View. Top team in the West, PV, versus Alabama State, tied with Jackson State. Top team in the East, 2 o'clock on the Hill. That should be a great matchup. Alcorn State at Texas Southern can be seen on HBCU Go if you're not going to the stadium. 2 o'clock kickoff. Texas Southern is only 1 game behind Prairie View in the SWAC West Division standings. Southern at Arkansas Pine Bluff, also 2 o'clock, showing on SWAC TV. Mississippi Valley State at Bethune-Cookman, SWAC TV, 2 o'clock. And then wrapping it up, Jackson State at Florida A&M on ESPN Plus at 6 p.m. Great matchups in SWAC this weekend on Saturday. That will do it. I'm touching on this for those who have not yet purchased their shirt. Please purchase your Once a Coug, Always a Coug t-shirt. I probably will want to have some time, hopefully in November, to design the Once a Coug, Always a Coug long sleeve shirts and maybe a hoodie, maybe a sweatshirt, something like that. Look for that as well, as weather in H-Town has gotten cooler for a week or so. So you can scan that QR code for the Once a Coug, Always a Coug shirt. The link will also be in the description as you're watching on YouTube. Reminder, become a member of the Houston Roundball Review YouTube members only section. 2 tiers, the All League tier and the All World tier. You will receive content first, and in some cases, you will receive content exclusively to the members. Won't be shared anywhere else. And also, if you become an All World member, you can receive a free large pizza from Star Pizza. That will do it on this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break. Wrapping it up, as I said in the beginning part of the show, I'm got to slow down, pace myself. Got basketball season, college hoops kicking off Monday, Coogs men, then Coogs women on Tuesday. But I'm working the election all day Tuesday. So yes, I'm pacing myself, but I'm going to be working 14 hours on Tuesday at minimum. Well, maybe 15 hours. Then after that, things will start slowing down for me. Rest of because I am going to slow down and pace myself for my health, physical and mental. May go to less games. That will definitely include less Rocket games the rest of this year for sure. And we'll see how it goes in 2026 for starting in January. But thank you for supporting the Houston Roundball Review. Thank you for supporting Pod Slamma Jamma, Andy, Dayon, and Kenneth. If you want to advertise on any of our shows, and again, you want to advertise on, become a member in the online business directory. The price point is less than $1 a week. And you can join, wrong one. You can join the African Center of Wellbeing, Bayou Beat, Be Elite Basketball, Byron Riley CPA, Pantaleon Law Firm, Pruitt's in the Heights, Star Pizza, Tejas Brewery, United Sports and Entertainment, VIP Realty, and the Saxenian family. Email advertise@thehrr.com. One more time, advertise@thehrr.com. Some folks say the, some folks say the. Advertise at thehrr.com. Advertise at thehrr.com. And if you do purchase and become a member in the online business directory, you'll have your choice of being a sponsor of one of the live stream shows like the Takeover, like the Let's Talk Rocket shows. So you help me, I'll help you. As always, thank you very much for taking time out of your day to watch the Takeover, either on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel or on Roku via the BS3 Network. Subscribe to the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. Spread the word about this show. Spread the word about the shows on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Onward and upward, and wrapping it up. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.